I'm testing 2 Drugstore full coverage foundations in this video, and let's get right to it. Hi, I'm GloryB, and this is GloryB-TV, a lifestyle channel for mature women who want to look fabulous, feel amazing, and age gracefully. Well, lately I've been testing a lot of foundations, and this is my last one for a while. I just brought out all the foundations I had, and I divided them between drugstore and high-end, and also divided those into medium coverage and full coverage. So today I'm trying 2, in this video I should say, that are, for me, they're full coverage, but they're drugstore. One is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Dewy. This is the Dewy. They have one that's a matte, but I like a dewy on myself. And then the other one is the NYX Born to Glow, which again is more of a luminous type foundation. Now, all the products that I'm wearing, including these, the brush that I use to buff it out, and all of the other makeup that I wear with both of these in the particular days are in the description box below. Now, if you don't know how to open the description box, I totally understand that. And if you're watching on a phone, you check one way. So you go below the video on the phone. There's a little V on the right side. Tap that little V and it opens up the description box, and then you can scroll down and find all the links there. If you're watching on a computer, go below the video, and on the left side, you'll see the word show more. Click those words, show more, and that opens up the description box. And besides all the products and links, if you want to check them out online first, there are also links to other videos and other discounts I have on some products. So scroll through there. The description box is pretty big, and you'll find all kinds of things there that you might be interested in. Now, I will be, like in the other videos, I'm putting on the makeup right in front of you on camera. Then I put the rest of my makeup on off camera, and we look at the final result. Then we check it again late in the afternoon, and then we check it in the evening. So let's get right to it. The first one I'm doing is the Wet n Wild Dewy. I'm going to start with the Wet n Wild today. This is in a light color. This is in Rose Ivory. And I do like that it has a paddle. I love the paddle. The only other foundation I have that has a paddle is Emlyn. So you can see this kind of light. It does have a fragrance. I don't know what that is. So I called this full coverage because it's just really, really noticeable. So I'm going to get it into that under eye area. Let's see. It is rather liquidy. It's not really thick. Thick enough to have a paddle, but I was trying to make sure it didn't get drippy. So I'll brush it with my e.l.f. brush, my flat-headed brush. And take a look with my 10x mirror. Make sure it's covering. Oh yeah, that's really light. So without the rest of my makeup on, it's really noticeable. I can even see in my monitor here, my neck skin tone is a little more warm, a little more yellow. Check my eyes. I am going to use, so you notice I keep saying this in these videos, but I'm not using my under eye corrector that I usually use from Pixie, which I would put on before foundation, because I just want to see how the foundation does without it. But I am going to use a concealer, my Tarte Shape Tape concealer, And in a couple of these videos, in the first round of foundation, I did show how I applied that, but in the rest of these videos, I want to keep them kind of quick. Let's see. All right. It looks all right. It's not sitting on top of my skin, which is good. It's got a little bit of luminescence to it. It's not super matte. They call it photo focus and dewy. So I think it's a little bit dewy, so that's good. I like that. And I'll put on the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Actually, I forgot that I want to show you a close-up of how this looks. Your face. And here it is close up with the phone. So where I'd normally have it showing cakiness on some foundations, I don't really think I'm getting any of that. And even in the forehead lines and around here, I'm not really getting that, you know, first off the bat in the morning. Okay, so now I'll be right back with a full face of makeup. Here is the full face of makeup close up. And here it is further away. So while I was putting on my makeup and could see myself close up in the mirror, my skin looked pretty good. So, you know, there wasn't anything standing out as I was looking in the close-up mirror saying, oh, that looks dry. So it isn't caking up really too much. And I think once I get all my makeup on, it doesn't look so light. So I put on light clothes. It's winter. So I think the light color is still okay for me. So let's check it later in the afternoon in daylight. It's just after 4 p.m. so it's time to check this Wet n Wild. Now I just checked it in my 10X mirror and my makeup mirror, and I'm getting some cakiness and some stuff wearing off in here and some dry patches, foundation stuck to it here. So I don't know if you can see that, but over here it's looking okay. You know, it doesn't look cakey and it doesn't look foundation-y. So it's not bad for a drugstore foundation at the price point that it is. And I like that it has the paddle in it. I mentioned that before. It makes it easy to get out of the bottle. Of course, you can end up using everything in the bottle as compared to a tube where you know something's still left over in the tube that you can't get. So it's a good deal, I think. But let's check it next in the evening. All right, it's after 9 p.m. and I just checked in a close-up mirror and it doesn't look any different than it did this afternoon, except that I'm tired. So I still have a little bit of cakiness in here. It's a little bit worn off. The same up here as this afternoon in the corners. But other than that, it's okay. So I won't make you look at my skin up close and personal again. So yeah, I don't really care for how it looks in here. So, it's an okay foundation for me. Not great, not bad, just kind of in the middle. So next we're going to look at NYX Born to Glow. Here's the NYX Born to Glow. It's a little liquidy, so I'm going to shake it. Interesting. And this is the color Porcelain. So this is light for me. So it comes in a tube. Yeah, and it's going to be a little bit runny, so all right. No under eye corrector. I'm missing my corrector. And I'm just going to smear it around before I get my brush on it. And the little crevices here, especially that under eye. Okay. So I think that's all I'm going to put on. We'll see. I And here I have my brush. And I'm going to pick up my 10X mirror. I can see I just need to buff out the nose a little bit more. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that side too. And all right, so I did some extra exfoliation in these areas above since I was getting so many dry things, so it might give this one a better chance than the last few I tried where the foundation stuck to the dry spots. So, all right, I'm going to buff it out a little more in here. Let's see, go down here a little bit to blend it out. And I'll fix anything around my eyes when I do my eye makeup. I've got a little hair, a blonde hair that's just hanging out on my forehead. All right, so in my monitor, it is really light, and it gets, you know, when I don't have any other makeup on, it starts to look a little bit like a mask. But other than that, it's pretty smooth, and it is called Born to Glow. So this is supposed to be somewhat luminous without being that, it's not matte for sure. All right, so let's give you a little bit of close-up. So you can see, make sure you get plenty of light in here. This is where, you know, later in the day with some of these foundations I've been testing, I've gotten some wear, it's worn off, or it's gotten cakey in here, and then it's gotten cakey in here. But again, since I did some exfoliation last night and this morning, that might be better. So that's how it looks close up. And next, I'll come back with a full face of makeup. Here's a full face of makeup close up. And here it is from far away. So, it's looking okay. I mean, for a drugstore makeup, it's a little cakey in here already. And, you know, under the eyes. Let me check up here. Okay, so up here, it's a little better than some of the others have been. I think I just have a dry skin thing going on. But I remember when I did the IT foundation out of the tube, the one that's the SPF, that one didn't stick to these areas, which that was a full coverage. So, yeah, it looks all right. Not really great, but let's check it next later in the afternoon in daylight. It's 5 o'clock. I'm a little late, later than I usually am. Anyway, I checked my skin in a close-up mirror, and with this NYX, I am getting a little bit of cakiness in here. Not as much in here, but again, that might be because of the exfoliation I did. It's wearing okay. I mean, for a drugstore foundation, it's all right. You know, now that I'm doing this regularly and I'm at the tail end of testing all that I'm going to test for this session, it's not as good as some others I've tested in my previous videos. So it's all right. And I'm not sure if you can see where the cakiness is. Maybe it doesn't look too bad from this angle, but let's check it later on. It's later in the evening, and I would say that the foundation hasn't changed from the late afternoon. When I checked it, it's still just a little bit cakey in here, a little bit in here. It still has, you know, it's not matte. So is it glowy or is it just shiny? I don't know. To me, it's a little bit shiny. Not sure how it comes across on the video. But it's okay for a drugstore foundation. So if you're looking for a drugstore foundation that is kind of full coverage, but it isn't matte and it's got some glow to it, then this one might be okay for you. You know, the price points on both of these are great, and, you know, just check them out and see if you buy them from a store where you can return it if you don't like it. Let's put it that way. So some are great about that, like Ulta is fantastic. Make sure to check the description box below the video to click on these and see what other kind of colors are available, and, you know, buy a couple colors and try them out and return the one that doesn't work for you. And that's always a good idea. And then check out some of the other videos that I've done that are now in my playlist called, I think it's called Mature Skin Foundations. And I'll have that linked in the description box as well if you just want to scroll through all of my foundation related videos, or you can tap one of the images on the right side of your screen to check out one of those videos right away. And I'll see you in the next video.